It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so here's a $300 gaming PC build. Now before I start, I actually have two versions of this build. There's one version for the person who wants the best gaming performance right now, and then one version for the person who wants to be able to upgrade gaming performance later, but have better everyday task performance now. I'll tell you the first one right now, but at the end I'll go over the changes you need in case you want the second build. So for the CPU, we have the AMD Athlon X4 860K. Now this is a quad-core CPU clocked at a whopping 3.7 GHz, which is amazing for a budget build like this. Now it only supports DDR3, but DDR4 is still a little bit too new and a little bit too pricey for a build like this anyways. So back to the features, this is part of the Kaveri line of CPUs, which means that we're looking at a 28 nanometer construction process. This means the thermals are going to be pretty bad, but this is to be expected, especially since this is a 95 watt CPU. Now you can stick a Hyper 212 Evo on this later, but for now the CPU looks like a great option, especially since it has an unlocked multiplier. Next, the motherboard. I went with a really beefy micro ATX board. It's the Gigabyte GA-F2A68HM With this, we get 4 SATA gigabit connections, 1 PCIe 16 slot, 1 PCIe slot, and 1 PCI slot. We also get 2 slots for RAM with a support for up to 64 gigabytes. I don't know exactly how that's possible because I don't think they sell 32 gigabyte DIMMs, but whatever. As you can see, the I/O on the back is really good, and we do have an integrated graphics processor, but we won't be needing that anyways. Next, the RAM. There's a super deal going on for G.Skill Ripjaw RAM. It's $38 for 8 gigabytes, so we'll definitely be picking that up. Sadly, it does come in 2 different DIMMs, so that means if you do want to upgrade the RAM later, you're going to have to take one of them out. Although you probably won't have to upgrade them later because 8 gigabytes is honestly enough for everything except for like 4K video editing. My system costs 2 times the price of this one, and I only use 8 gigabytes of RAM. For storage, we have a single 1TB Western Digital Blue hard drive. Now these are pretty much the golden standard for hard drives because they're reliable, large, and fast enough for all games. Now these drives are probably sponsored in every gaming PC build you've ever seen, so you know that they're pretty good. This brings us to the GPU. Yes, we have a GPU. It'll offer way more performance than integrated graphics, so here is the EVGA GeForce GT 730. With this guy, we get 2 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, not GDDR5 or anything fancy, 384 CUDA cores, and a clock speed of 902 megahertz. Overall, this isn't bad for just about $50. Now, I've looked online, and with this card, you can actually get around 50 to 60 FPS on medium settings playing 1080p in a game like CSGO. Now, that is way better than integrated graphics could ever offer. For the case, I picked out this okay looking Rosewill case. It cost about $29. Now I did this because I really want to shave off money for the GPU, but if you want to spend about $10 more, then you can go ahead and buy this Fractal 100R case, which in my opinion looks a lot better. For the power supply, we really don't need too much juice, and 350 watts should be more than enough. So we have a very affordable Seasonic SSR. This isn't modular or anything because at this price point, those don't exist, but it does have enough juice for all of our components. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole build, and it's what I think is the best gaming PC build that you can get for $300. Now, if you wanted the best everyday performer, like what I was talking about in the beginning of this video, then drop the GPU and go for an SSD, especially this cheap one that I picked out for you from ADATA. For the everyday, nothing, and I mean nothing, helps performance like an SSD, not even a GPU. Now, if you're willing to live without a GPU for a while, you could save up another $100 and then pop in something like a 750 Ti later and get a really strong PC. However, this is just a suggestion, and in the end, the decision is yours. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe to see more like this. My name is Akil Mohideen, and I will catch you guys later.